Welcome home. Alright, so it looks like we've gotten some updates on Borderlands 3 over the last week. We got a delayed release window for what we expect to be Borderlands 3, as well as a possible confirmation from Randy Pitchford on whether or not Borderlands 3 will feature some sort of PvP mode. Let's go ahead and run through the delayed release date, as I'm sure that's what the majority of you want to hear about the most. We got this information alongside a press release from Chief Executive Officer Strauss Zelnick. There is a ton of information in the DualShockers article, which I'll leave linked in the description below. But there is only one specific paragraph that interests me for this video. Interestingly, we heard that a highly anticipated title from one of 2K's biggest franchises that was planned for the current fiscal year will now launch in the next, which means between April 1st, 2019 and March 31st, 2020. This game has been teased in the past few financial reports, and many believed it to be Borderlands 3. The reason for the delay is explained as giving the title additional development time. If you want to understand why we believe this to be Borderlands 3, I cover that topic in my video Borderlands 3 Everything We Know So Far, April 2018. It's the first topic I discuss in that video. I'm not going to discuss it here in this video as it is quite complicated. So sadly, Borderlands 3 likely won't be releasing for quite some time, the earliest being April 1st, 2019 and the latest being March 31st, 2019. And I would say the safest bet would be September or October of 2019. And that's still over a year away. The reason for this being, those 2 months are when all the Borderlands games have released in the past, Borderlands 1 being in October, Borderlands 2 being in September, and the pre-sequel being in October again. It's not all bad news though, because delays like this usually mean that the game will end up being more polished and filled with content than it likely already is. I, for one, don't mind games getting delayed, especially when they don't even have a set release date in the first place. I would prefer a finished game over a rushed pile of trash, and Borderlands 3 is something that I really want them to hit the nail on the head. Now, this delayed release date does line up with Gearbox announcing that Borderlands 3 will not be present at E3, as well as Randy Pitchford trying to lower expectations over on Twitter. They also claim that the Walmart leak for Borderlands 3 was fake. So what about Borderlands 3 having a PvP mode? Well, depending on how you take this tweet from Randy Pitchford, it kind of depends. Some other people have been taking this as a 100% confirmation, but I don't believe that's really the case at all. Over on Twitter, Pitchford responded to the following tweet by Michael Pachter. For what it's worth, I have it on very good authority that Borderlands 3, whenever it eventually comes, will have a Battle Royale mode that allows 1 billion players at once. Pitchford responded with the following tweet. Unfortunately, the Borderlands engine only allows for 4 players, and they have to be on the same team. However, later in response to people asking if this was a confirmation of Borderlands 3 being only 4-player co-op, he had the following to say. I was joking with Pachter, who claimed COD engine could only support 32-player multiplayer. Another thing to add is that he was obviously joking to some extent, seeing as Borderlands 3 is using the Unreal Engine 4, which is the same engine that PUBG and Fortnite use. You know, those 2 massive Battle Royale games that have 100 players in a single online match. I know you've probably never heard of either of those games because they probably can't even fill a single match of those 100 players. So yes, it was a joke to some extent, but I honestly do believe that Borderlands 3 will be only 4-player co-op that Borderlands is known to be, especially if Borderlands 3 is as big as Randy Pitchford teases, leaks, and speculation are all making it out to be. I don't think there would be room to have a tacked-on Battle Royale mode or even a trashy team deathmatch of sorts. Let me know your thoughts on the delay of Borderlands 3, as well as your thoughts on Borderlands 3 likely not having a PvP mode. I, for one, don't really care. I'm personally glad if it doesn't. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please smack that like button down below and subscribe to join the good fight if you haven't already. It would be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is Epoxy signing off.